Hey guys, this is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and welcome to a movie review. In today's movie review, this is going to be on a basketball movie from 20th Century Fox, and of course it came out in the year 2002, and that's going to be on Like Mike. So, Like Mike stars Bow Wow and Morris Chestnut, Jonathan Lipnicki, Crispin Glover, and like Mike is about this guy this guy named Calvin Cambridge who has a dream of becoming a professional basketball player. He always wanted to be like a basketball player for the NBA. But then of course there's been these people who've been like making fun of him and taunting him, they're saying that he can't become one. But then one day Calvin finds a pair of Michael Jordan's shoes, and so when he puts them on, he's got really cool skills while wearing them. And so later in the movie, Calvin Cambridge teams up with a basketball player named Tracy Reynolds, and so Calvin has to do whatever he can to team up with Tracy Reynolds in order to win the basketball game. So yeah, so this was a good movie from my childhood. Yeah, I remember watching this movie. First. I first saw a trailer for this movie when it was included on one of the trailers for the Ice Age second disc on DVD. But then years later, I actually watched it when I was in middle school. I watched it when I was in middle school, during a little fun fun Friday, and I think like Mike, I think is a good movie from my childhood. Yeah, because I think it was back when I was in middle school, before I became a teenager and all that stuff, or I was thinking, I do remember watching a trailer for this movie, and then I officially watched it when I was like a teenager, because I was in middle school when I first watched this movie, Like Mike, and like Mike, I think is a good movie from 2002. Probably one of the best, well, not really one of the best 20th Century Fox movies of 2002, but I gotta say, it's one of the good movies of 2002. But a pretty nostalgic year for movies, 2002. And the movie Like Mike, it's got good acting. The acting performances are great. I think Bow Wow does a great job as Calvin Cambridge, and Morris Chestnut is the actor who played Tracy Reynolds in this movie, and Morris Chestnut, he did a good job. And Jonathan Lipnicki was good in this movie, and Crispin Glover was in this movie too, and he did good too. And also since this movie was also made by NBA Entertainment, National Basketball Association, some NBA players also make an appearance in this movie too. And all the NBA players, they do a good job in this movie too. And oh yeah, and plus, and this movie, Like Mike, also had a direct-to-video sequel that came out in 2006, which is nearly 15 years ago. That I didn't really think a sequel really needed to exist, because the sequel, Like Mike 2 Street Ball, none of the original cast members reprised their roles from the first movie, and the sequel does not mention any of the previous film's events at all. Yeah, because I always prefer the first movie. I always prefer the first Like Mike movie from 2002. Yeah, so overall, Like Mike is a good movie from 2002, and I'm gonna give Like Mike, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, and I would rate this 9 out of 10. That's two similar ways of saying it. 4 out of 5 equals 9 out of 10, and 10 out of 10 equals 5 out of 5. So there you have it. So if you haven't watched Like Mike yet, if you haven't seen it yet, and if you're a fan of basketball like I am, then I recommend it. It's also I heard it's also streaming on HBO Max as well. But if you live somewhere here in the United States, and if you have HBO Max, then I recommend checking out on HBO Max if you want. But if you live if you live in a different country where HBO Max is not involved, then and if you're interested in checking out Like Mike, then yeah, I still recommend it. And just like I would definitely recommend the first Like Mike movie from 2002, not the sequel. So there you have it, guys. So that's my movie review on Like Mike, and so that's going to be it for this video. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Mr. 8 Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.